right, so just talk to me about how you got started in boxing. What drove you to the sport of boxing?
You know, I don't know. I was going into the Olympics in 1971, 1972, and just messing around and having fun. And I lost to a guy by the name of Dwayne Bobbitt in the last trials of the Olympics. And I was just hanging around, working at a job called Lehigh Foundry, and decided to go pro.
Okay.
First fight, Scranton, Pennsylvania. And from there, that's enough to say, you know, that it was just met a lot of good people there, had a lot of good times, and that just helped motivate me even more and more. Fighting in Scranton and meeting a guy like your father, Bobby Cassidy, because he was the main event and we was looking up to him and everything. I mean, I never forget that name.
When did you have the confidence to know that you could rise to a really high level in the sport?
You know, when I got to working with Muhammad Ali as a sparring partner, I felt that, you know, I can make some money. I didn't think about being a champion. That was too far away from me. But I thought maybe I can get out there and do just as good as everybody else just to make some money. I wanted just to be able to have some money to live and not be the heavyweight champion in the world. I didn't care, but not to go out there and get beat up and get hurt so people can talk about how bad I done. And that motivated me to train a little harder and work a little harder. And as I went along and I continued to win, and Scranton fought 8 times in Scranton 1 year, like, because we was not making money. And, you know, that just motivated me. I said, man, I'm doing good. And I'm working with Muhammad Ali, one of the great fighters. Then I got to meet Joe Frazier. I got to work with him. I said, man, you know, I will give it a shot.
I heard this story that you've told in the past about one time, one of your first times sparring with Ali, and you got a swollen
black guy,
and you said, no, I don't want any. Can you just tell us that story?
Well, you know, I was proud to say that I was working with one of the greatest fighters of all time, Muhammad Ali. People wouldn't believe it. They didn't believe it. And you know, I don't know if I got hit in the eye on purpose or not, but, you know, I wanted to show it off. I got hit in the eye, I got a black eye, and they wanted to put ice. I said, nah, I got to show this one off. I'm going to show it. And you know what? They still didn't believe me. They still didn't believe that I was working with Ali. I had to show them the pictures. And when I was showing the pictures, I was up in Bear Mountain somewhere and training for the Olympics, and I had to send home for the pictures just to make them think, let them know that I was working with Muhammad Ali.
And what did you learn working with Ali? How much did that help you?
Well, it just gave me confidence in myself. Muhammad didn't tell me nothing. He didn't want to tell me nothing. He didn't tell nobody that he going to beat up something, how to beat him. He didn't go for that. But, you know, I watched him anyway. I picked up a lot of his moves, a lot of things he did that I wouldn't have done, and a lot of things he did do that I'm proud and say I'm glad I did do. So, but one of the things that I thought about is, damn, taking punches like that. You know, he wanted to show how strong he is. Hit me. They was hitting him here, hitting him in the body, and they was hitting him all over. And I didn't want to take those kind of shots because the game, they always say to be hit and don't be hit. And Ali was taking a lot of those hits. Special guys, you know, going along when we was fighting, those guys was trying to kill you every day.
I want to talk to you about the Norton fight. One of the greatest fights in heavyweight history. I mean, it really comes down to that last round, and you guys just let it all out on the line. And the title's on the line for you. What do you think? I mean, you're going into that last round, and you know you have to win it.
Come on, body, don't fail me now. This is the last round to go. And he hit me, I hit him. I thought the fight I was winning. But if he hit me, I'm gonna hit him twice. He hit me 3 times, I'm gonna hit him 4 times. And I felt that's the way I would stay ahead, and that's the way I fought. And when he let down, I picked up. I mean, I was tired as heck, but you know, I would give it my all because that was the last round. And you know, a couple of times he hit me below the belt, and I said, keep him up. He cussed me out. I'm not gonna say it on camera what he was saying, but he was really, you know, adamant about what he was saying, and he wasn't going to do nothing but kick my butt. And that's what he was trying to do, but I came out victoriously.
At that moment, when you finally achieved that, what was that night like for you?
I was the happiest guy in the world because I was able to come back home to all the people that said I couldn't do it. And it was shown that I can do it. You know, I was really happy and that's why I adopted Scranton to be my home because they always cheered for me. They always wanted Larry home. They Larry. The people in East, a lot of the people really didn't care. They really didn't believe in him. And then even after I won the title, they said I wasn't gonna keep it long. Then that was another thing that I had to do is prove to them that I was really the champion. I was gonna continue to be champion. And it was always a hurdle that I had to go over. And, you know, I just did it. I just kept it clean and just said my prayers and tried to do the best I can do when I get in the ring and not get hurt.
Let's just start with Ernie Shavers. I mean, one of the most devastating hitters of all time. Just talk about him.
Ernie Shavers was one of the heavy punchers at all time. And I keep telling everybody, I got a knot inside my head right now, and I think Ernie Shavers did it 30 years ago. But you know what? I've worked with Ernie as a sparring partner, so I didn't know a little bit about Ernie before I got in the ring with him. And that was my advantage. And I tried my best to stay away from that right hand, because every time he hit me with that punch, right hand or left hook, he hurt me to the arm, on the body, wherever he hit me. He hit me in the hips. That hurt it. So, you know, I knew he had the power. And I tried to stay away from that because he was one heck of a puncher.
And I want to jump to the Weaver fight, which was at Madison Square Garden, and the spectacular knockout you scored there. But first, just talk about fighting at the Garden.
Dream come true. I'm behind some of the greatest fighters ever fought in that ring in the Madison Square Garden. You know, it's just like, if you ain't seen New York, you ain't seen nothing. If you ain't seen Hollywood, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't been in the ring with Madison Square Garden, you ain't been in the ring. I mean, it was like, man, Joe Louis fought in this ring, Marciano fought in this ring, Muhammad Ali fought in the ring, Joe Frazier fought in this ring, and now Larry Holmes fighting in this ring. Come on, man, you couldn't tell me that my head was like that. But I didn't show everybody that my head was like that. You know, I tried to keep it humble.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about the fight with Jerry, too. And that was such a hyped fight. And I know you guys are really good friends. Was the public, why was it perceived in such a, almost kind of a negative way?
Black-white. Like if you go in Russia and play against Russia, against the United States and Russia, like Jerry Cooney was the United States and I was Africa, you know what I mean? And people wanted Jerry to win, they wanted the white hope. But you know, and I used to tell Jerry, man, don't go into what people gonna try to bring you into, because it's only me and you fighting. You're gonna do your best to kick my butt, and I'm gonna do the same thing, Jerry. So when it's all over, it's just gonna be me and you. Jerry was stronger than I thought he were and harder to hit than I thought he were, because he had the height and I had to punch up. And with Jerry's left hand, and I knew he was a converted southpaw. He still today won't tell me he's a converted southpaw, because that right hand was knocking the heck out of me, you know what I mean? And that left hook he had, boy, I mean, he hit me one time, and he didn't know it. I was hurt. I walked back to the ropes, to my corner like this. The bell rang. Bang, he hit me, wow! He was getting ready to hit another, and the bell went ding. Good thing for Larry Holmes that the bell rang, I got the chance to go back to my corner. And I told Jerry all of this. I told Jerry this after the fight. One of the things with me and Jerry, I always been honest with him, you know, about the fight. Even after the fight, when we're doing an interview, I said, Jerry, it's gonna be me and you. You're gonna get a lot of white folks talking shit. A lot of black folks gonna be saying the same thing. So we ain't worrying about that. Don't let these people get on your nerve. He never would say anything. He dropped his head. And that's all he would say. He dropped his head and do nothing. And then after the fight, I said the same thing. Jerry, when you go home, they're gonna be on top of you. I said, Jerry, you can't pay that no mind. You can't let that bother you. Just live, be happy, get yourself together, and come on back and knock me out the next time. The next thing you know, Jerry let a lot of the bull get to his head, and drinking left and right and everything else, because it was aggravating, and because everybody was expecting more out of Jerry because he was white hope, I guess. And they were expecting Jerry to go out there and knock me out. And you know, they forgot about 100 years of experience that I had over him with the Alis, the Fraziers, and everybody else. And my determination, my go-getter, even watching your daddy box out there, you know, he don't know about all that experience that I had to go through, but he let it get to him, and I didn't let it get to me.
Yeah. How do you guys turn that switch off? Like, you know,
we don't hate each other. We don't. It's a job. It's a football game, a basketball game, a wrestling match. You know, we don't do it to hate each other. We do it because we got to pay the bills. You know, and it's not because Jerry was white. I had the same problem with Bernardo Snipes. I had the same problem with Mike Tyson and everybody else. You know, they want to do this, and you got to build up the animosity to go into the fight a guy. You know, it's you or him, and the more you win, the more of a check you get. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to do it, but you know you got to do it because that's the only way you're going to get paid.
Right.
So you do it. But after the fight is over, what they do? Hug. Everybody hugs. Kick my butt, knock me down, knock my teeth out, and now you want to hug and kiss me, tell me great fight. I was a great fight, why'd I lose?
Talk about your jab, considered one of the greatest jabs in boxing history. Is that something that how hard did you have to work on it? Was that a natural gift? I mean, when did you really just how did that jab develop?
You know, I learned the jab watching Muhammad Ali, number one, and being a kid with a towel, with a whip. Whop, with whop. You know how to make that? It's the same thing. That's the same thing with the jab. Whop, whop. I just thought there's not a whole lot of power on that jab, and when his power comes in, I close real tight, and I step in, bang. Bang, you know. But meanwhile, while I want to just be pretty and slap you inside the head a couple times, whop, whop, whop. It's a slap. It's not a jab to knock you out. It's a jab to cut you a little bit here, make your nose bleed. But then it's a jab to knock you out. The jab to knock you out is bang. That's the jab. But they don't teach the fighters that anymore. Fighters go out there and he. They don't jab. Every now and then they jab. They don't jab. So that's why a lot of the fighters are getting hit. They need a good teacher like me. I think I'm probably the only good one left because Ray Arcel going, Freddie Brown going, Eddie Futch going, Gil Clancy, they ain't out there. Ali, they should learn it from Ali. Ali used to say hit and don't be hit, but then he gets up there and show everybody how good he can take a punch. The game is not to get hit and take those punches because if you do, you're going to be walking around on your heels.
You were kind of put into an awkward situation to have to fight him. You didn't really want to fight him, right? How did that whole thing work out?
Well, you know, Don King and Bob Arum was bidding and bidding and bidding, you know, and Ali, seeing them dollar signs that at the time, $10 million for Ali was a lot of money. It was a lot of money for me, but then I had to take the low share of it. I took $3 million of the fight at 3.5. I don't remember exactly. It was all about Ali, everywhere you go. Ali was my friend, but he was a guy that you didn't want to be around because he embarrassed you, because he talks so good. People love him so much. Whatever he says is going to be right. If he called your name, the gorilla and the bear and everything, I forget what he called me. But, you know, he's going to make fun of you. He's going to call it like Joe Frazier, call him ignorant and all that. I mean, you know, that hurts your feelings. You do that stuff like that. But he'd be doing it to get your goat so he can make you lose your thoughts about what you're going to do in the ring so he can just take advantage of you.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I predict not only will Larry Holmes lose for the first time, but he'll be knocked out for the first time.
But the punishment that he took prior to fighting me, that's what made him old. And he should not have been taking those punches, and he should not have had probably fought me. But how you gonna tell me not to take $10 million? You know what I'm saying? How you gonna tell me? You offered me $10 million. I'm 65. Offered me $10 million to go out there with Mike Tyson. I call him up. Come on, Mike. We gotta go do it again. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I love the guy, man. I love the guy. The guy was a good guy. He gave me an opportunity, gave me a job. I was, you know, dropped out, made me a sparring partner, you know. It took me around the country with him. I mean, Africa with him, in the Philippines with him. I mean, you know, he did everything. He tried to kill me, though, when he got me in the ring. Now, don't leave that out. But I was his sparring partner. I was willing to take whatever he give me, because I wanted to learn. And, you know, and at that time, I was learning. I had learned how to do it, and all I needed to do is not make him look bad. Because, you know I was getting to him, but I'm not going to get to him in front of you guys, TV cameras, and everybody else and other promoters watching, the spies. I'm not going to make him look bad. That ain't my job. My job is to get him in shape as best I can. So I never try to really hurt him. But, you know, I never want to hurt him. I used to say to him, Ollie, stop taking all them punches, man. What are you taking all them punches for? I get cursed out. So I shut up. He said, I'm the boss. Don't worry about me. So I worried about him anyway.
You fought in the Philippines on that card. What was that? It was hot in there. What was that whole experience like for you?
It was hot, and it was early in the morning. And, you know, it was like 9 o'clock in the morning that I fought, 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, somewhere around there. And it was really hot. I fought a guy named Ronick Bobick, and he was Dwayne Bobick's brother. And he was I think, better than Dwayne, because he was big, he was strong, but he had no stamina. And around the 6th or 7th round, I was putting punches together, and the referee stopped it.
And what do you remember the main event? Do you remember watching the third Ali Frazier fight? Because you became friends with both of them, right? Was it hard for you to watch that?
Well, you know, I think of business every time I watch fights. As long as they're making good money and everything, in my heart, I got pulled for Muhammad Ali, because I worked with him more and longer than I did with Joe Frazier. But Joe was my friend too. But I was hoping that Ali would win and not hurt Joe, and Joe would win and not hurt Ali. It was just that way. But I was probably rooting for Muhammad Ali.
Dude, what are you most proud of?
Winning the title. Dream come true. I never thought in my wildest dream that I would ever get in a position to win a title or championship, because I didn't get in boxing to win a title. I went in boxing to pay the rent, man, so I could have some money, so I could be able to eat, take care of my kids if I had some kids, and get them off to the right schools and stuff like that. And that was my greatest accomplishment, especially after so many people told me I couldn't do it. I got turned down by Gil Clancy, said that I would never be anything, you know. And they say, oh, he ain't got nothing, he ain't got no heart and everything. My heart was nothing. And winning the title, proving it to them, it was okay. That made the whole thing, because all them no-sayers, all these know-it-alls said I was not gonna be anything. Could you imagine? All the people say you ain't nothing, and I be out heavyweight champion of the world.